YouTube. Right.
Yeah, this is how we live.
Oh, this is how we do it.
Okay, Bob, we're live, so we can start the meeting.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, but my first duty is if somebody wants to call in or Zoom in the meeting, they can dial either 1-312-626-6799 or 1-646-558-8656. Enter the meeting ID number 977-6119-6006. Press pound and then pound again. If your line is muted, press *6 to unmute. And then we'll call the meeting to order. And we'll have a prayer by Commissioner Dean and pledge by Commissioner Heberling.
Let us take a moment here today to reflect on the important work we have for our county as we face these challenging times, that we conclude our year with our important task of our county budget for 2021, that we acknowledge the good work of several county officials who are retiring after contributing and serving for a combined over 150 years for their various positions, that despite the tumble and roughness of politics sometimes and disagreements, that we can come together and acknowledge the good work that people do for our county, and that we can work in a spirit of camaraderie as in this holiday season as we move forward with the best interest of our county. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
District 1, Commissioner Dan Dean.
Here.
District 2, Commissioner Gary Heberling.
Here.
District 3, Commissioner Joe O'Mara.
Here.
District 5, Commissioner Joel Wyatt.
Present.
District 4, Chairman Bob Conley.
Here. Adoption of the agenda or any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to go ahead and approve the adoption of the agenda for today's meeting.
Second.
Is that Joel? Who seconded? Who seconded that?
Me, Joe.
Joe. Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Heberling, seconded by Commissioner O'Mara to approve the or adopt the agenda. We have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Dean.
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Mara.
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt.
Yes.
And Chairman Conley.
Yes. Motion carried. Any corrections to the minutes or approval of the minutes?
Chairman, I would move approval of the minutes as presented.
Support Wyatt.
Motion by Commissioner Dean, supported by Commissioner Wyatt to approve the minutes of November 17, 2020. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wyatt.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Mara.
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling.
Yes.
Commissioner Dean.
Yes.
And Chairman Conley.
Yes. Motion carried. Correspondence, petitions, and introductions. I think you have a sheet with a couple of them on there. See Jody if you want a copy of them. Commissioner's report. Commissioner Heberling.
I have none at this time. The only thing that I was asked to do and maybe chastise on social media is the commissioners didn't join in with the opening of some of our local restaurants. And at this point, I think it's in the best interest of the commissioners to stay clear of those, get involved with those things. End report.
Hang on,
Wow.
put us on hold.
That was divine intervention.
Okay. Can we continue? Commissioner Wyatt,
I have nothing to report.
Commissioner O'Hare? O'Meara, I'm sorry.
Not a lot to report. Port Sanilac is hooking up the water, so that's good to the pipeline that comes from Lexington. And really great news at the O'Meara household. We now are, well, December 10th, Comcast is going to hook us up for 300 megabytes per second. My neighbor's getting a couple gig per second, and it's only $50 a month. So we're really happy about that.
Well, good.
Yeah. That's
That's
the
it?
first. Yep, that's it.
Okay. Commissioner Dean?
No report, thank you.
And I do not have a report either at this time. The administrator's report.
I just have a few items to review today. We hired Eric Merriman as our building and grounds supervisor. Hold on just a second. We have someone putting us on hold. You've got mine. Okay.
Okay.
So Eric started yesterday, and then Roger has announced that his last day will be December 18th. He's already turned his phone over to Eric, and we'll be making the appointment to the position for Eric at our next meeting on the 15th. And then I also want to provide you with some information on the recycling center. I wanted to give you an update. I know back in June, we had approached the board regarding hiring additional part-time sorters, if you will. Joanne has indicated to me that the individuals that she's hired, they have a tendency to fizzle out almost as if they're like a temporary employee, if you will, and she's short-staffed again. She's requesting the ability to hire additional part-time sorters, especially in anticipation of getting those roll-off containers out to the communities beginning in January. So does the board have, do we want to make this formal? Do you have a problem if we look at filling those part-time sorter positions, or what would you like to see?
Those are the positions we already
Approved
went through, approved, so
Yeah.
that if they're vacant, we continue.
Just to, we do have it posted so we can try to drum up some interest right now, but I didn't know if you wanted us to, make it the official process of going through the formal review, or if we could just look at trying to recruit some.
It's required to carry out the mission of the millage.
Yes.
So, yeah, they should be.
Okay, because we have a recycling meeting this afternoon at 3:30, so I can let Joanne know that we can begin to fill those positions, so that way she's able to keep up with operations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and other than that,
I'm going to be free. I got a lot of free time.
Yeah, lots of fun.
There you
You
go.
look great.
Other than that, I know, I believe Todd had mentioned this morning, and even Bryant, and Commissioner O'Meara has been talking about this too, but we've added about 560 cases during the month of November, so it's ramped up quite a bit here in our county. Within our courthouse building, we do have 3 employees who are quarantined currently for exposure or potentially having the virus. So we're looking at those situations right now. We're working with staff. We're still meeting on a weekly basis just to discuss what's going on in the community, what's happening here within our building, and how we're moving forward. So we'll just stay on top of this. I know the governor is speaking again this afternoon, and we try to watch those updates so we know how it may impact our operations. So that's really all I have, unless you have questions for me. All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Chair.
Thank you. Any public comments for agenda items only? If none, we'll go down to our public hearing of 2021 proposal general fund budget. We will be talking more about that a little bit later. But do you have anybody on the public about that?
It doesn't appear that I do right now.
I'm sorry, you do right now?
No, it does not appear that we have
Oh.
anyone.
Okay, we'll go on. We're at interviews with the pension plan board. We got two individuals that are interested in one position, Christina Baldwin and Shannon Krieger. Is Christina?
I'm present.
Okay, you want to give a little spiel?
Oh, sure. Okay, so, well, I had sent Jody an albeit short response to the message that there was an opening on the pension board. And in that I outlined, is that somebody else's phone or?
No, that was the school bell here in Deckerville going off.
Oh,
Oh, hey, time for recess.
Every 50 minutes it's gonna go off, yeah.
Good.
okay, so I'll talk
Awesome.
fast.
No, good.
So in that I outlined just briefly, which Jody's aware of anyways, but for the rest of you, that I've been with the county coming on very close to 30 years now. So on a personal level, I have a vested interest in the pension board. And I've always sort of had an interest in how it works. I'll be honest with you, as I get closer to my retirement, I've actually reached out to administration on a couple levels on how honestly it works, how you, because I'm in that defined benefit group, of course, and how you arrive at your figure, your final number, and the importance of that and tracking it. I think that it's something that, for me personally, I need to get closer to and more connected to. I feel like I've served on, Lord knows, a ton of committees over the years working here. I continue to do so. I work well with just about everyone I can imagine. I can't think of anyone I don't work well with. I don't know. I think that I have a good sort of collaborative outlook on things. I play well with others, if you will. I'm transparent. I try to be honest, and I'm taking on a new role the first of the year, and I think this would be an additional challenge for me. I'm ready to sort of try out some new things, and I think this might be a good fit for me.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Christina?
The only question I had, it's not a big deal. Christine, in your email to Jody, you got, you've been employed by the county for 25 years, but you just said you've been here 30.
Well, for over, I'm nearing, this year, I'm spinning into my 29th year.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah,
So,
no big
and
deal.
when I started with the county, I actually was here for almost a year, filling in. I was on like a student, kind of like a contract for a person who had suffered a heart attack. So I've been here longer than my number shows, but even so, it's coming into close to 30 years. So obviously the magic number is coming up for me shortly down the road.
Sure. Yep. Thank you for clarification.
No problem.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Christina.
Thank you. Am I okay should I stay on? I don't know how this works.
Well, is Shannon out there? I'm going to ask Shannon the same thing.
Sure. Absolutely.
Shannon, are you online? Tara, do you have Shannon by any chance?
Nope, I don't see her online.
Okay. So the next step then is we need to vote for one person. We only got one.
Chairman?
Yes.
And Mr. Chairman, I would move that we close nominations and place in nomination the names of Christina Baldwin and Shannon Krieger for the position on the pension board to be voted on.
Okay. Do I have a support?
I'll support that.
Who was the first one?
Commissioner Heberlin.
Gary Heberling was.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Dean, supported by Commissioner Heberling, that we close the nominations, Christina Baldwin and Shanna Krieger for the Pension Plan Board. Do we have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes. Motion carried. Now we will vote, and we can't do that, write it down, so we'll have to have a roll call vote on that.
Right. Well,
All right.
okay.
I guess that's the best
Can
way
we
to do it.
text? Can we do it by text to
It does.
Tara?
It's all documented in the minutes on who you vote for. So if you want me just to call a commissioner's name and they indicate which one they want to vote for, I mean, we can
Yeah,
do it that way.
I think that would work fine.
Okay.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Baldwin.
Commissioner Dean,
Christina Baldwin.
Commissioner Heberling,
Baldwin.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Shannon Krieger.
and Chairman Conley.
Shannon Krieger.
Okay, so it's 3 for Christina Baldwin and 2 for Shannon Krieger.
Okay. So our new appointed pension plan board is Christina Baldwin for a 3-year term expiring 5/1/23. Appointments to the boards, chair appointments. Let's go to the general resolutions. We got 5 resolutions on our agenda. And I want each commissioner to read one of them. And I got a name nearby, I'm sorry if this is the one that you would rather do or not, but I just start with Commissioner O'Meara, would you read?
Bob, I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you.
You're not hearing me.
No.
We hear you now.
Yeah, you're back on now, Bob. For your cutting out.
Oh my God.
Okay, let me hold this right in front of me, then I'll be speaking right in. I'm going to ask each commissioner to read a resolution. I'm going to start with Commissioner O'Meara. Would you read Greg Alexander's?
Right now?
Yes.
Okay. New business, the resolution honoring Greg Alexander for his years of service, whereas Greg Alexander is leaving the county after 12 years of service. And whereas Greg began his career with Sanilac County on January 1st, 2009, as the Sanilac County Drain Commissioner. And whereas throughout his career as a public servant, Greg has served on the Board of Public Works, the Parks Commission, KWA Landfill Operation and Recycling Center Advisory Board, Mississauga Creek Inter-County Drain Board, ORV Committee, Information Technology Planning, Soil Erosion and Sediment Control, and is involved in many community organizations as well. Whereas Greg and his wife Patty of 29 years are the parents of 3 children, Allison, Joshua, and Matthew, and 1 grandchild, Amelia. Now therefore be it resolved that Sanilac County Board of Commissioners by this resolution recognizes and commends Gregory Alexander for his commitment to Sanilac County and its citizens. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Gregory Alexander and spread among the the proceedings of Sanilac County Board of Commissioners this first day of December 2020.
Support by Commissioner Dean.
Okay, we have to vote on these separately, or do we want to wait till we're all in one?
No, we have to do them separately. They're
Okay.
separate resolutions, Bob.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Dean. We have support by our Commissioner O'Meara, support by Commissioner Dean. Now we have a roll call.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, Gary, would you read resolution honoring the sheriff, please?
Yes, sir. Gary Benecki is retiring after 44 years of service from the Sanilac County Sheriff Office, nearing the completion of his third term as sheriff. And whereas Gary has hired in 1976 as a correction deputy and attended the police academy in 1977. He was promoted to sergeant in 1984 and appointed to position of undersheriff in 2006 until 2009, when he was elected and proudly served as sheriff for the past 12 years. And whereas a commitment was launched of a county-wide arson investigation unit and restitution of the sheriff's work crew programs, a program that is serving communities throughout the entire county by assisting cities, villages, and townships with manpower at saving the taxpayers of over $100,000 a year in labor costs. And whereas Gary has maintained and balanced budget and has streamlined operating, receiving over $2 million in grants, as well as overseeing the jail bed rental program, which has surpassed the $22 million mark since its inception. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners does hereby honor and recognize Gary M. Benecki for his outstanding leadership, dedication, and contributions to Sanilac County and its citizens, and offers its warmest wishes for health and happiness in his retirement. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Gary M. Benecki and spread upon the proceedings of the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners this day of December, first day of December 2020.
Do I have a support?
Support.
By Commissioner Dean.
You have a motion.
That's fine.
That was Commissioner Dean, correct?
I think Commissioner Wyatt beat me to it, but that's okay. Either one's fine.
Okay. Had a motion by Commissioner Heberling, supported by Commissioner Wyatt. Have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. Commissioner Wyatt, will you read the resolution for Bradley Roth, please?
A resolution honoring Bradley Roth. Whereas Bradley Roth is retiring as undersheriff for Sanilac County with over 25 years of dedicated service, and whereas Brad began his career as a deputy in 1995 and then promoted to road patrol sergeant in 2006, and then appointed undersheriff on January 1st, 2009, and whereas as sergeant, Brad wrote a police officer safety enhancement grant in 2007 for $97,000 and continued to expand the crime prevention program and was responsible for implementing the officer field training program and trained over 19 new deputies. And whereas as undersheriff, Brad attended the 244th session of the FBI National Academy, documented health and safety issues within the jail, which led to the addition and renovations. He instituted duty weapons programs for all sheriff's office employees, oversaw all grants for the past 12 years, totaling several millions of dollars, and as a final point in his documentation has led to the dismissal of every lawsuit filed against the sheriff's office and office employees during his tenure. And now therefore be it resolved that the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners does hereby honor and recognize Bradley Roth for his outstanding leadership, dedication, and contributions to Sanilac County and its citizens, and offers its warmest wishes for health and happiness in his retirement. Be it further resolved that this resolution be presented to Bradley Roth and spread upon the proceedings of the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners this first day of December 2020.
Okay, do I have support?
Support.
Is that O'Meara?
That was Mr. Heberling.
Oh, okay. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Wyatt, supported by Commissioner Heberling. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Mara,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. And Commissioner Dean, will you do down the table?
Yes, resolution honoring the Honorable Donald A. Teeple for years of service. Whereas the Honorable Donald A. Teeple is retiring from the 24th Circuit Court Judgeship after 30 years of dedicated service. And whereas Judge Teeple has served the citizens of Sanilac County as an exemplary manner. And whereas Judge Teeple has demonstrated his extensive knowledge of the court system and has imparted that knowledge with both character and integrity. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners does hereby extend to the Honorable Donald A. Teeple its heartfelt appreciation for his dedicated efforts and many accomplishments during his years of county service, and offers its warmest wishes for health and happiness in his retirement. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the proceedings of the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners this first day of December 2020.
Do I have support?
Support Wyatt.
Motion by Commissioner Dean, supported by Commissioner Wyatt. So I have a roll call vote.
Commissioner O'Mara,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes. Motion carried. And the resolution honoring James V. Young, I will read that. Whereas James V. Young is retiring as prosecuting for Sanilac County after 42 years of dedicated service, and whereas Jim began his career as an assistant prosecutor in 1979. Next, he became chief assistant prosecutor in 1980, then elected to the office of prosecutor in 1985, and holds the distinguished honor of being Michigan's longest servicing prosecutor. And whereas Jim has been a co-founder to originate and establish the Sanilac County Crime Victim Rights Program, Sanilac County Child Abuse Prevention Council, Sanilac Drug Task Force, Sanilac County Medical Control Board, Sanilac Child Death Review Board, Sanilac Area Violence Elimination Council, Eva's Place Shelter Program, and the Sanilac Child Advocacy Center. Further, he continues to serve as a board member of all these programs. And whereas Jim has assisted in the creation of the Drug Task Force millage, Medical Control millage, 911 dispatch millage, and the SAVE Partnership millage to ensure future funding and continued services for the Sanilac citizens. And now therefore be it resolved that the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners does hereby honor and recognize James V. Young for his outstanding leadership, dedication, and contributions to Sanilac County and its citizens, and offers its warmest wishes for health and happiness in his retirement. Do I have a support for that?
Support Wyatt.
Motion made by myself, Bob Conley, and supported by Commissioner Wyatt. Have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes. Motion carried. I want to, at this time, just recognize all 5 of these people for the job that they have done for Sanilac County. Let's go to FA 137-20, approval of 2020 current claims.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the payment of current claims for 2020 identified on the accounts payable report dated November 4th, 2020 for the general bank account in the amount of $198,451.43.
This is Commissioner Dean seconding that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Heberlein, supported by Commissioner Dean. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 138-20, budget adoptions, amendments, appropriations, and transfers.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following amendments, transfers, and establish the following accounts.
Do I have support?
And they're listed on page.
I'll support that. It's Joe O'Meara supporting, over and out.
Motion by Commissioner Heberlein, support by Commissioner O'Meara. Have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 139-20, authorization to fill assistant prosecuting position, prosecutor's office.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the prosecutor's office to post and fill an assistant prosecutor's position.
This is Commissioner Dean supporting that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Heberlein, supported by Commissioner Dean. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 140-20, authorization to fill office manager administrative assistant position, prosecutor's office.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby authorize the prosecutor's office to post and fill an office manager / administrative assistant position at a pay grade 8.
It's Commissioner Dean supporting that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Heberlein, supported by Commissioner Dean. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt.
Abstain.
And Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 141-20, authorization of classification and compensation, friend of the court.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners authorizes classification and compensation recommendation resulting in a higher pay grade assignment from pay grade 4 to pay grade 5, followed by the next step, which provides an increase effective January 1st, 2021, and further authorizes a change of job title from friend of the court to legal secretary to friend of the court administrative assistant, and authorizing the following job description as seen below.
Commissioner Dean, I'll support that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Heberlein, supported by Commissioner Dean. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 142-20, approval of medical examiner's contract.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following 3-year independent contract agreement between Sanilac County and William Starbird, MD, effective January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2023, and further authorizes the board chairman to sign the necessary document.
Have support?
Support Wyatt.
Motion by Commissioner Heberlin, supported by Commissioner Wyatt. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberly,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Chairman Conley.
Yes. Motion carried. FA 143-20, approval of animal control consulting services agreement.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following agreement for consulting services between Sanilac County and James Matson, and further authorizes the board chairman to sign the necessary document.
It's Commissioner Dean. I'll support that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Heberlin, supported by Commissioner Dean. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Heberly,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 144-20, approval of soil erosion and sedimentation control enforcement agreement.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following annual soil erosion and sediment control enforcement agreement between the County of Sanilac, the State of Michigan, and Joseph Allen, further authorizing the board chairman sign the necessary document.
Do I have support?
I'll support that, Joe O'Meara.
Motion by Commissioner Heberlin, supported by Commissioner O'Hara. Roll call vote, please.
Close enough. Close enough.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberly,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 145-20, approval of administrator controller contract.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following extension of the employment agreement between Sanilac County and Tara Griffith, Administrator / Controller, for 1 year, expiring December 31st, 2021, with a cost of living increase of 1.75%. Further authorize the board chairman to sign the necessary document.
Do I have support?
Commissioner Dean, I'll support that.
Motion by Commissioner Heberlin, supported by Commissioner Dean. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberly,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 146-20, adoption of increases to fee schedules for 2021.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby adopts proposed fee increases for the medical examiner, and construction land use effective January 1st, 2021. Further adopts the annual animal control proposed fee schedule to include veterans discount to align with the senior citizen, to postpone and increase all late fees for 1 year, and to extend the dog license collection for 1 month to March 31st, 2021, non-pro ton, to November 17th, 2020.
I'll second that. This is Joe O'Meara.
Motion made by Commissioner Heberlin, supported by Commissioner O'Meara. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Heberly,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 147-20, approval of operations contract.
The Sanilac County Board of
Sanilac
Commissioners
Transportation.
hereby approves the following Sanilac Transportation Corporation operations contract for a 4-year term commencing October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2024, and further authorize the board chairman sign the necessary document.
Commissioner Dean, I'll support that. That's fine.
Who was the first one? Was that Wyatt?
Wyatt, support.
Yep.
Motion by Commissioner Hebring, supported by Commissioner Wyatt. Have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried. FA 148-20, approval of the designated assessor agreement.
The Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the Sanilac County interlocal agreement for county designated assessor and further authorizes the board chairman sign the necessary document.
Do I have a second to that? I'll make a
Commissioner Dean,
motion.
support that.
Motion made by Commissioner Hebring, supported by Commissioner Dean. Have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Meara,
Yes.
Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried.
If I
FA
could
1,
just mention, there was an updated version of the designated assessor contract in the packet. So Wendy had went through and there were just some items that needed additional clarification. There weren't major changes, but on the electronic copy that you received, it would have been highlighted in yellow where the changes would have been. They were very minor. It was just to make sure that the language within the contract was clear, if you will.
Where did we get that, Tara?
That would have been in the packet that you received. It's actually in the packet we're looking at right now. It starts on page 36, but it's not highlighted.
Okay, so it is here, but it's not highlighted.
Yeah. Commissioner Conley, I believe you reviewed it, right? Did you see any major?
no, I reviewed that and I'm comfortable with that, what she put in there.
Okay, a point of order, Mr. Chairman. I think you need to close the public hearing on the budget before we proceed with the next motion.
You wanna, the adoption of the county budget, you wanna close that?
Well, no, we would have to, I think you have to, just as a procedural matter, just declare the public hearing closed on the proposed budget before we proceed with the vote on it, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we did that earlier, but maybe we didn't.
Chairman
All right.
Conley,
Yeah,
this is Wyatt. Listen, in regards to that, a lot of time has passed. There may have been an opportunity for someone to log on during this period of time. So while the public meeting is still open, can you announce that there's an opportunity to speak should they wish to be heard?
sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
Is, Tara, do you have anybody, or is there anybody from the public that would want to speak on the budget?
They are able to unmute
If
themselves
not-
if they wish to speak.
If not, we'll have a motion to close that.
I move to close the hearing for the public meeting on the budget. Wyatt,
You just,
Support by Commissioner Heberling.
it doesn't require a motion. It's just the chairman closes.
chair
the-
closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
okay, I close that. I
One,
close that. I close that budget resolution. Okay, now we go to FA 149-20.
Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby adopts the 2021 County Budget Resolution, General Fund Budget, and Appropriations Act as follows. Do you want me to
Commissioner
read?
Dean,
Go ahead.
Commissioner Dean, I would support that.
A motion made by Commissioner Heberlin, supported by Commissioner Dean. Have a roll call vote, please.
Any discussion?
Discussion?
Okay,
Discussion.
I would advocate that we consider finalizing this on December 15th. Believe we have our next meeting. There are still some budgetary items that haven't been received from the Road Commission and the Health Department or the
Medical care.
medical care facility. It appears Commissioner O'Meara would like to see that information, as would I. And there's no detriment for us holding back until the 15th.
As these are significant amounts that are currently described as miscellaneous revenue or miscellaneous expenses in total of 12 million on the revenue side and 5 and 3, 8 in total on the expense side. The purpose of this exercise is to give the public some insight as to how we're spending their money to the extent that we can actually approve the invoices off of this type of budget. And that type of transparency and clearness is not included in this budget. And furthermore, every department is required to have an annual budget prepared at this time. And we are still lacking one department, and we're required to pay 15% of that department's expenses. And I don't think it's appropriate that we proceed in that manner. So I think we need more work.
I'd like to ask the maker of the motion to modify it as such to reflect that we postpone this motion until December 15th of 2020.
Is
Well,
that a friendly
I think that-
amendment?
well,
Go ahead.
I think that's premature. I think we can further discuss it and then perhaps arrive at that conclusion, but I'd like to have a little more discussion before we reach that conclusion, I think. Tara, do you have any feedback from the Road Commission and the care facility on why we haven't received their information?
Yeah,
I have nothing.
typically,
I was asking Tara if she had any information on the Road Commission and care facility in particular, and why we haven't received a detailed budget from them.
yeah, typically the Road Commission, they start their process in December, so I'm not sure when they're scheduled to meet, but I can follow up to ensure that we have that for the 15th. And then with medical care facility, they've had just a few hiccups, over the past month that they were dealing with regard to an outbreak. So they are just getting started on their budget. So I will ensure that we have that for the 15th as well.
Is that, Commissioner Wyatt, would that satisfy your request that rather than make a friendly amendment to this recommendation, to this motion? That we have that by the 15th?
Well, I think it's, have we satisfied the Uniform Budget and Accounting Act, 621, have we satisfied the requirements of that? And I would say, no, we haven't, because there's not enough detail for the public to review, the types of expenditures and revenues that are flowing through. I mean, I think we've made a lot of progress because all those funds, we have 72 funds, which are now reviewed by the public in theory. And, we should comply with this regulation that we're required to comply with.
Joe, is what I'm hearing you correct is that you're unsatisfied or rather dissatisfied with the amount of depth and detail from a particular department, and you feel that there should be a greater effort to pull that information out, or are we missing it completely?
We're required to prepare budgets in enough detail that we can approve the expenditures.
How does what you're describing that doesn't have enough detail, how does that fit with other departments? That would be an example of a greater detail.
Every department that we have here goes, you can pretty much recalculate all of their expenses in the beginning of the year, and they'll come within a small percentage of actually hitting that. And in advance what it is. And when you have just a miscellaneous expense of $5 million, $5.4 million, it's like, well, what is it? It's not really miscellaneous. That's 90% of your budget. So,
Sarah, what's he referencing with the miscellaneous part? Because I don't recall seeing 5 mil on that.
let's just say, for example, you go to page 80 in your packet.
All right,
Under medical care facility, the last line there, you'll see the last line says miscellaneous expense.
Yep.
5.063 million.
yeah.
Well, and I can mention too, so with our component units such as the medical care facility and road commission, they keep their general ledger detail in-house. So we pass through the transaction as a miscellaneous expense, but for auditing purposes, the details kept at either the medical care facility or the road commission. So once we see their budgets, then we can align with, that miscellaneous.
So we're still waiting on their
expense
budget.
breakdown.
Right.
I would answer that.
But this is a public hearing so that the public can look at this, and it's our fiduciary responsibility to make sure that the public has a chance to review it and we can be criticized.
Well, and that I'm in agreement that we should wait and give them the opportunity, because if what I'm hearing you say is that by December 15th, they should have this issue spread out in a greater detail.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We should.
Yeah, that's it. And they will have it for the most part. And then we have the one department who doesn't really come up with anything that would allow you to make the payments. And
what were you
let's push
saying?
that one to January, please.
Okay.
I believe, Bob,
Correct me if
procedurally,
I'm wrong, but I think we got a motion on the board we got a motion and a second. And is there any more discussion? And I think we have to vote on this one first, either yay or nay.
Well,
And
I asked
then
for a friendly amendment. Was
Am I
that turned
correct?
down?
Nope, that was turned down.
Okay,
I think, Denise, correct me if I'm wrong, I think procedurally, the correct move would be for Commissioner Wyatt to make a motion to table the motion until the December 15th meeting. Am I correct?
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
I mean, if that's what you want to do, you don't need to vote on this one today. Just do a
Correct.
motion to refer to the December 15th meeting.
So
Well,
that,
Specifically name the two items that we want to see in the budget on December 15th, correct?
well, I'm not sure you have to be that specific, Gary. I think if you just refer this to the next meeting,
Right.
that we can deal with whatever issues are yet to be resolved at that time.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
all right, then the motion will reflect that we would like to postpone this particular motion, adopting the budget, until December 15th at that meeting.
I'll second that. It's Joe
Okay.
O'Mara.
Okay.
now we need to vote on that. Is that right, Denise?
Yes, now you're first voting on the amendment to refer it to the December 15th meeting.
Correct.
Okay. Commissioner Dean,
Yes,
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes,
Commissioner O'Mara,
Yes,
Commissioner Wyatt,
Yes,
and Chairman Conley.
Yes, motion carried.
All right.
So that'll be on our
December 15th.
December 15th meeting.
Correct.
we have to
Okay.
do another public hearing.
No.
I'll post it as soon as I get the information.
All right, then that's easier.
Okay, is there any public comments? There's no closed session that I'm aware of. Number 22, adjournment.
I move to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
support?
Motion by Commissioner Heberlin, supported by, who was that?
Commissioner Dean?
I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. By Commissioner Dean. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Heberling,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Mara,
Yes.
Commissioner Wyatt,
yes.
Commissioner Dean,
Yes.
and Chairman Conley.